Welcome to the first video blog for the Wrestling Roundtable. We just got done watching WrestleMania 25 and we wanted to give you some real quick, spur-of-the-moment first impressions of WrestleMania 25. What do you think, Rod?
I honestly think this is the longest, most painful WrestleMania, just not even WrestleMania, pay-per-view that I ever had to endure. 4 hours felt like 4 days. By the time the main event came, it felt like Money in the Bank match was years ago. It was very bland, very dry. Nothing good came out of it except that I won money.
All right, we bet on WrestleMania every year, and we've been doing it since 2002. Rodney finally won one.
I was saying right before the show that WrestleMania is 4 hours is a long time, and tonight was proof. Yes, tonight was definitely proof. And it's amazing how it's a long time, and then they still cut out a unification tag team title lumberjack match. Because Kid Rock, had what? He was up there for what, 2 hours?
Well, I never.
Yeah, I love Kid Rock, but we're like, really? How many songs gonna do?
But here's the thing: I never thought during a WrestleMania, like when we went to 20,
right?
I never felt at the time, oh, this show's dragging on so long. I can't wait for it to end. It was like almost a continuous stimulus, like my weekends.
Upbeat.
And today it was just like you said, it just kept going and going and going. But I don't want to be completely negative.
Like,
well,
I
said during the show, I told Eric, I go, people say we're too negative, and after watching, this was the middle show, I said we're not negative enough, because it was just like, maybe the good. What was the good? Okay, well, good. Steamboat's little 2-minute deal there with Jericho was cool.
Ricky Steamboat
he was great.
Was so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I went to the Hall of Fame last night too, and I thought it was just so cool. Like, I was with some of my coworkers, and one of them said, what if they put out a Steamboat comp? You could not calculate how light speed fast I would buy a Ricky Steamboat compilation. He is really so amazing, and tonight especially. The shape he's in for, 50-some-odd years old?
Yeah, he proved it. I mean, they started out Piper, it started out Snooker, and you really saw how these guys looked like they were in pain just walking to the ring, alright?
Yeah.
And then Steamboat gets in, and we popped because you see him good, a guy who's in shape, a guy who can move. He starts doing arm drags, and his chops moving around really well.
He looked crisp, and he looked more polished than half the young guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Martin's behind the camera. Let me take that over, Martin. What do you think about WrestleMania?
What matches were in it? Like, literally, sometimes I'm like, I forgot. I was sitting here at the main event, I was like, wasn't this last year?
You were looking at the DVDs and...
Yeah, seriously, I wasn't even paying attention. The only match I paid attention, Money in the Bank was probably the second best I've ever seen.
First of all, we should know...
Oh, it was not.
Maybe we were just noticing it more.
Just Shelton Benjamin was.
But this WrestleMania had more... And I hate to be one of the people that acknowledges when people mess up, because people mess up, but there were so many...
It was Botchamania tonight.
So many messes.
It really was.
There
and
was
a lot
so
of
many
people
messes on the camera, too.
He died.
We almost witnessed two deaths in one
Shelton
WrestleMania.
Benjamin and Undertaker had the two biggest moments of the show, and both of them were near-death experiences where we all stopped for a moment. We were like, that was cool. I hope he's not dead. Then we started laughing. Then we stopped laughing because we were worried, especially with Undertaker. We really thought he may not have survived that particular move, and they showed it 5 or 6 times. Yeah.
What's sad is that that's the moment when we started paying attention to the match.
And
that's the pivotal moment in the match.
When the
match.
That match was good.
Yeah, but I don't know if it lived up to the hype. They built this match up for like 2 years.
Up until Undertaker almost killed himself, not so much. From there on, it was really good. Yeah. And they did have a great finish in that match as well. But
I love the first tombstone spot they did where, God helped Michaels kick out, and then he immediately resumed being dead. And then Undertaker had that look on his face where we all kind of knew he's not going to end the streak, but there was drama there that Undertaker really felt he couldn't beat the guy, and then when he beat him, it was cool. And then they kind of played up with finishers in the main event by starting it with the 2 finishers, which kind of evened the playing field, because I think it was kind of good they did that, because the whole thing was Triple H is out for blood, so how can this be just a normal wrestling match if Triple H just wants to kill the guy, they're going to brawl. So by doing the 2 finishers up front, they were both kind of like zombies, and then Triple H, threw the water on to wake himself up from the RKO.
But
so
you know what's sad is that these guys could be fighting all year. Yeah. Triple H and Orton is going to drag on to at least Survivor Series.
Oh, God.
And we're going to have 2006, 2008, 2005, 2004 all over again.
It hasn't improved. Nothing has proved.
I feel like
since 21. Maybe.
The storyline progress, there has been none. Like all the things they accomplished this year with Jericho's character, Michael's character, Triple H putting him on SmackDown. They're right back to literally where they were last year. Where, like, Cena's in a triple threat match and Edge is champion and it's Triple H and Orton, and there was like no growth from 24 to 25. There was too much continuity, almost like nothing was developed.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, wow, if Orton wins, we're right back to the age of Orton now again, and nobody liked that in the first place. And Triple H wins, and Triple H wins. I mean, think of all the people that won the belt. Yeah, Punk won the belt this year. Hardy won one of the titles this year. They had a new guy in ECW, Jack Swagger, who wasn't even on the show. They did a lot of stuff this year, but this WrestleMania might as well have been the same show as last year's.
Stay tuned for Wrestling Roundtable coming up next week. And, of course, check us out on WrestlingRoundtable.com in the meantime.